What's good, squad? I'm back with part 2. And if you're new and you have no idea what I'm doing, I'm reacting to the Den of the Kings of basically just a show about black men and just their struggles in life, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, basically everything and how they became successful. Then stick around. But this is part 2, so go watch part 1. But with that being said, I'm finna press play and get right back into it. We were at 41 minutes and 43 seconds. All right, bet. I'm just gonna give my input like I'm there, squad.
You're dealing with at the table, NLE.
Yeah.
See,
No.
In NLE's defense, let me just say this.
But I'm not religious. I'm not Christian. I'm not none of these things. I just believe in God. I go straight to source.
Right. But here's what I want to say.
I get what you're saying. I get how what I'm saying could be.
No. I'm not even saying that. I'm just speaking from my experience, not even directly to what you said or what you meant.
No, I receive.
But what John and Jay was saying, it's like when I was young, that made sense, right? I'm not.
What
is not
made
ancient.
sense? What made sense?
What you're saying? God somehow this is going to make sense because God's going to make sense. God has a plan, and that was true for me when I was young, right? When I got older, and when my brother died, and as a child, it's just God kind of called him home. God had a better plan for him. No man understands God's thing. When I was a kid in that, with somebody else's grandma, somebody else's brother, that was cool. And
So basically, squad, if you're new and you didn't go watch part 1, they started talking in part 1 towards the end of, do you think God does things for a reason, or do you think anything happens for a reason? And I said in part 1, squad, or what I tried to say is, I do believe God puts obstacles in our life and things happen for a reason, in my opinion, right? But let me speak on this real quick. I have a friend, squad. This is a true story. I ain't gonna say his name, but his mom died at an early age because she had cancer, right? And he told me that he doesn't think things happen for a reason. He said there is no reason for God there is no reason that his mom should have died from cancer, and he should have watched his mom die from cancer at such a young age. He said he watched her just wither away with his own eyes. He said, do you understand that trauma and that pain? And he told me, why would God do that? He for a little bit, he told me he didn't believe in God because he said, why would God take his mother away from him at such a young age? And at this time, squad, he said he was in elementary going through it, and he started, because of this, acting bad, acting out, just going through all types of aggression, pent-up aggression because his mom died, squad. But that's from part 1, and I'm finna get back into it.
Don't worry about it. God's got you. Jesus is here. Jesus, just pray. Jesus died for this. All of a sudden, after 40 years of saying that stuff, and I'm not saying you don't believe it, because I believe it too. Oh yeah, God's got you, brother Key. I'm praying for you, right? And I'm hearing that until it was me. And then you're looking at God like, where?
But did he have you? Did he? My thing is,
here's the thing.
Hold up, did God have you though? Did he not?
I don't believe he did. That's my truth.
You said you didn't know then, or you still don't know now?
Still now.
You don't
and
know.
Also in the Bible, people in the Bible were like, Jesus was like, I don't understand what is happening.
It's not meant for you to understand.
Right, but this is what I'm saying though. Hear what I'm saying. In that moment, when my brother, right, and we talking about the celebrity, fame, and all this type of stuff, and I'm sure we all know this, that your circle of like actual trust people that you know, if everything about you that everybody loves was gone, the amount of people who will be like, hey brother, you Uber, I don't care, come by the house, we're playing Uno. That amount of people that you really actually trust is usually less than 5 people, maybe 2 or 3 people.
1000%.
Right? For me, one of those 2 people is gone.
1000%.
So now it's like, and then you have people at the church, at the funeral, oh brother, God's got you. Okay, I hear y'all, okay? But that person is gone.
Do you know what we're talking about? Let me tell you.
Spiritual bypass.
No.
Is he gone though?
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, squad. This is getting deep, and I really want to hear what Kirk finna say, bro. But see, Kev is basically saying what my friend said. Like, why would God take someone you love away from you. But I'm genuinely curious to hear what he's gonna say.
Isn't really gone.
That is
energy
dead.
If energy never died, nigga,
No.
Let me ask you this, NLE, let me tell you what's happening, King. Let me tell you what you're dealing with at the table. I'm gonna share something with you.
I'm dealing with the same thing.
Well, no, and
I'm dealing.
and I
with
respect
the
it.
same thing. I deal with.
And I know that you
I
are.
deal with the way I deal with people dying in the most violent way, and I gotta go to their funerals, pay for them motherfuckers, and they mama had to cry on my shoulder.
I'm not discounting that.
I'm not discounting either, but I'm saying.
Well, no, first of all, I am very grateful.
He's talking about street
that
violence.
the space for conversation is just happening.
Me too, brother.
They was having a chance to talk, yeah.
No, this is actually the conversation.
Yes. But I do want you to know, and I do want you to know what you're also walking into is because
I know what I'm walking into.
Well, if you don't mind,
Yes, sir.
if I can frame it like this, if you don't mind, just give me a second, and I really appreciate that. You're also talking to people, and I want to go to this with you, Ray J, is because you were raised in the church too. This is what you're also doing. See, you had, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I need your help on this. You weren't raised in church, were you?
My grandmother on my dad's side took my pops to church 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day.
What about you?
I'm a product of that.
Okay.
That veered my father away from church.
Wow.
I wasn't in church every day and all this.
Good.
I was not. I can't say.
Which is
but
good.
I still receive what he felt. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's a generational thing.
See, on that topic, squad, I relate a little bit different. I definitely can say I grew up in church, squad. Definitely raised in the church, kind of just like him, except he said his grandma took his dad to church, and I would say, in my opinion, my grandma took me to church. But besides all that, I just want to get back into it. Just put my input.
So whether I feel it the way he felt it or not, I still feel it secondhand. You feel me?
Well, let me tell you why I said that. It's because I appreciate and love when people did not have to be forced to go to church and have stuff thrown down their throats, because it gives them a different way to paint their picture of their journey.
I get what you're saying. But church.
Okay, I see what I was gonna throw this in, and I'm gonna let it play, squad. Growing up at an early age, I will say that as a kid, I will say you only know what you're taught, right? So with that being said, my grandma growing up and raising me in the church, I will admit, as a kid, you didn't always want to go to church. So I will say church as a young age was kind of forced. And the only reason I say it was forced is because to me as a kid, it wasn't fun. The church that I went to, they didn't do enough activities and things to appeal to kids. And I feel like that's where a lot of churches, at least where I went, and maybe in the black community, fall short. They don't do enough with the children. They don't do enough to cater to our kids. And since my church didn't do enough to cater to our kids, to get kids involved, to do activities, to do trips, like I see some of the different types of churches, the Caucasian churches, they go on trips. They go to just different places to get the kids involved. And since my church didn't do that, they didn't make it that appealing to kids. So if anybody's watching this, what I will say is, make church fun for kids. Make learning about God fun for kids. Try to make kids want to do it. You know what I'm trying to say? But let me not yap too much.
This isn't the solution, man.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, King. Yeah. I'm sharing with you what you're walking into. Yeah. What's happening at the table is that for a lot of us, let's call it what it is, religious trauma. Yeah. What we're dealing with a lot at this table is because we have had people make us feel bad.
You know why though? It's a thing where you have us here as people, you have God, and then this is what happened. We got to go through all these different things to get primarily the source. Primarily the source. You know what I have a problem with?
I don't understand.
One of the things I have a problem with, and it may be controversial. A lot of people may say this and may say that. I don't like, let me say it in a manner to where it's extremely intelligent. Let me think on it. In Christianity, it's a thing where people praise the Son more than they praise the Father. And that's what I don't like.
Okay.
Because if we are man made in a likeness, Jesus is our brother. You get what I'm saying? Why would I drop down and praise my brother instead of praising my father? And that goes back to honoring your parents.
I just gotta say something.
I'm confused.
Have you read the Bible?
I read the Bible, I listen to the Bible, I receive from source straight.
I would say
See, squad, me and NLE Chop are the same age. NLE 22, I'm just turned 22, but I don't understand where he's coming from, and let me just play it.
Let me ask you a question, Ray J. How has it been for you coming from the space where you had to go through this? You were raised in church. You've seen different things that have not been always good. How have you processed when it comes to dealing with your own journey of health, mental health, trying to be a strong man? How have you sometimes had the conflict of what to pray away and what to go seek help for, how to address issues that you may go through as a black man that is sometimes seeing faith not always in the best way or the right way or the wrong way? Has any of that ever been your experience?
I hate church.
Why?
Well, first off, because they always sit me in the back. And I'm like, damn, all right.
But does it make you not feel good enough?
I mean, I'm way back there, yo. Then they put me in the front of the church, and I'm like, in the front, I start sweating, yo. Real bad, like, I'm supposed to be at the front. And then, I just was up there.
I ain't gonna lie, squad. I have no idea what he's trying to say, but I finna just let it play, bro. Maybe y'all just like me.
I'm a real sinner. And then
we all are. But what do you do, Ray J, when it comes to the journey of trying to find what the solution is for you when you are dealing with those areas in life that are too big for you? And they affect your mental health. They affect the emotions that whether you can't pray away or you can't do something away, is because a lot of times as men, we have these things that help get us through, whether it's sex, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, and this is historical for us as men. Work, you know what I mean? We've always tried to find something to help us get through.
We need that. It'll never be a day where we don't have to find peace in something.
Like, at the end of the day, like, I feel you. Like, damn, that shit, it like hurt me. It like really hurt.
And he said find peace in something, squad. What I said earlier is like finding like a healthy, almost like a healthy vice in a sense, squad. Like some people, I said in part one, they like to drink, they like to smoke. And I said, squad, just finding that healthy outlet. That's what I'm trying to say. My healthy outlet, squad, that I picked up from a young age has always been the gym. It's always something that helped me decompress. So I do understand when they say find a good outlet.
To see what you went through, bro, because that shit just, that's not cool. It's just like.
To even, like, as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about Kev as well, because to watch Kev have to mourn his brother, who I knew that they were so close. This was also his manager.
But was it any like when your brother passed, was any malicious stuff that happened? Like, what happened? Was it any?
No, so this is the part that feels the most cruel about it. He had cancer, and
like I said about
at the time that he was diagnosed, they were like, "This is like a terminal cancer, 5 to 7 years, right?" So, man.
Lost my grandfather to cancer.
Well, sorry, man.
What makes it worse is if he just got cancer and got sicker and died. Okay, that's what cancer does. You understand that. He got cancer, got sick, and then got better, to where he was back to where he used to be. So we were on a book tour, and I saw him in Houston. We had dinner. Everything was normal, and the night before he passed away, we were texting and calling, and everything was great. The day he passed away, we were talking. We were texting, we were talking about sports. And then my sister-in-law called and was like, your brother had a seizure. And I'm like, what? I still had my phone in my hand. I was like, I'm just talking to him. And I was so disoriented that I had a show that night. And I was like, I came home and I was like, I'm gonna go to my show, he'll be fine. And my wife was like, I'm gonna go to Houston. I think you should come. And thank you. And I'll never forget this. We're flying and my nephew called me on the plane and somehow my phone still rang. And my nephew told me on the phone, he's gone. Wow. So the last time he was alive.
And Squad, that's just like the early conversation I had with my friend, Squad. He feels just like Kev, bro.
I'm talking to him the night before. We make the New York Times bestseller list. Thank you, Richard. So it's the highest high. Like that day is the best day ever. Because it was like we did it. Everything was like we wanted to do this. We wanted to make all this stuff happen. And we did it. And before we could even celebrate it, you're gone.
Jeez.
And then all this stuff starts happening good. And it's like, bro, this is what we worked for. All the stuff, the shows, and it's just like, there's times where I go to text him or to call him and it's like, your brain doesn't even remember. So, and then on top of all that, his responsibilities became mine. So his family, he's the provider for that family. So now all of a sudden I've got to help his wife, his kids.
Wow.
So I'm grieving with y'all.
Wow.
But I've taken on more of a burden, even though we're all sharing the same pain. I'd only been to 2 funerals before that. The 3rd funeral was my brother, and now I have to pay for and plan it. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've never done.
I ain't gonna lie, Squad. My heart goes out to Kev, bro. Like, I can't even imagine going through something like this, or like my friend go through, bro. So I just want to say, if anybody from this show ever watches this, like, I respect you, Kev. Like, I don't even know what to say, bro. My condolences, like. I'm lost for words.
And then I still gotta be my own husband, my own wife's husband, my own kid's father. I still got employees. I still gotta show up. You know, that's what we're saying, the work part of it. Like, I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have work. And I'm not even saying I buried myself in work, but it was like, I gotta live.
Yeah.
And
but
outlet.
I also feel guilty for living.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, man. Is that, do you think, like even what's happening right now, do you guys think that there is another medicine out there, Jonathan, that we're not even realizing they can also be part of the healing for us as black men? And it is the lack of sometimes affection that we feel that we have not been prepared to give each other as black men. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, and I said this earlier, you know, NLE, I'm not ashamed to say, man, that I would love to have known what it feels like to have a father hold me, or have a brother hold me and embrace me when I'm weeping tears. And I think that there's something therapeutic about that, but because the culture has always put us against each other, you know, that do you feel, Doc, that we're missing these opportunities to even help heal each other by embracing each other in our darkest moments, to just let each other know, I see you, I got you, and we're gonna be all right? Like, do you think that there's something we're missing in this alpha male, this toxic masculinity that we're dealing with more than ever in our culture?
Bro, I just want to speak on this, Squad, about like having people. I will admit, bro, like, there's a quote, Squad. It says, ain't nobody really gonna love you necessarily until you dead. You know what I'm saying? And even goes beyond this, like the Charlie Kirk situation. Or beyond the Charlie Kirk situation, Squad, my bad. I'm not best in my words. Kind of even just like rappers, right? It's like rappers will go their whole day, their whole life really without getting the flowers that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as someone dies, basically I'm trying to say, squad, is people won't show you love until you're dead. You know what I'm saying? That's the messed up thing about it, squad. And something about me, squad, is if I see someone grinding or shining, I'm always going to like their stuff, always going to be under their stuff, always support them when I see them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I know them and had a conversation with them and things along that nature. But basically I'm trying to say is, let me just let it play, my bad.
We're missing connection.
It's like I know what to say, but I can't.
And you see how the air changed?
Yes.
As Kevin was sharing. And I'm sitting here and I can feel this energy because, to be honest, Kurt, we don't even get the opportunity to grieve properly as black men.
Or even how Ray J even got up and just showed him some love. It's like, you know, we don't get those moments.
We don't get those moments, you know. When I saw,
and it's like what I was gonna say, squad. It's like sometimes that's what people need. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in part 1, squad. A lot of people go through stress and things because they feel like nobody's there. When all they really need is just someone. And I use the gym references in part 1, but it's true, squad. It's like some people come to the gym and they act like they can't do it and they struggle and things along that nature. It's not because they can't do it. It's because they just need someone to kind of support them and be there for them. But back on him saying is that nobody really has no one to show support and love. It's like sometimes all people really need, bro, is just that support. You know what I'm saying? And like there's a man out here with a girlfriend or a wife and kids, and all he would really love for real is his wife or girlfriend just to say, hey, you do a great job providing for our family. I see you, I respect you. I don't know what I would be able to do without you, husband, and even a man vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
Guys, I made it my point to acknowledge his transformation.
Yes.
I made it my point to acknowledge his perseverance and to speak life into him. Made it my point to talk with him and to share with him Ray J. And because when we lack connection, man, we limit ourselves from having the human experience. Yeah. We need connection. We need affection. I've made a post. It wasn't even a post. I was on a podcast, Brandy Harvey's podcast, and I talked about how study shows that boys need more hugs than girls. Not because they need more love, but we're usually underdeveloped emotionally as boys because we don't get touch, we don't get affection, we don't get I love you and look you in your eyes and not be able to say, you know, no homo. It's no I love you, man. And pause. It's like we don't get that. And man, the internet tore me up.
It's a war.
The internet tore me up because it was like, oh, so you saying? I said, no, that's not. The study reveals that because boys are underdeveloped psychologically and emotionally, because we've been told, man up, you better not be no bitch. Yeah. Don't you cry.
But at the same token, we so far away from how we originally were supposed to bring up black men that we don't. A lot of black men don't know.
And they don't know.
Share more with that as a young man with that perspective.
When you walk up to, and I don't call them no YNs, but when I walk up to a young king, it's always black man, good brother, young king. I love you, man. Respect. And I've seen, man, and most times when I'm through the airport and somebody stop me and say something, I embrace them. And they'll say, brother, thank you. Because usually, Kurt, it disarmed them from having to armor up. Because usually when brothers go into any space, we're armored up.
Tell me about this war, NL.
Man, it's a war. I mean, we all aware of the war. We all aware of the war. Every day we wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Define it for me. To just somebody who's older, I would love to know in detail from your perspective. It's because your life is so much more different than mine. I would love to learn.
Is it the war to kill black masculinity? Is that what it is?
Man, it's the war. It's the war to black man, black masculinity. But a lot of people got to understand black men also have feminine too. Feminine on the fifth dimensional level with receiving, stillness, trust, just allowing things to happen and flow within a life. And just, you know, the balance. We're unbalanced. As black men, we want to always do. That's the masculine, not the feminine, not this. Feminine is receiving, stillness, trust, faith. Masculine is just the power and the act of doing. Once we start to create balance in that area, that's when black men, we become more polished. But the war is that information like that is not groomed to us from yay high. You know what I'm saying? Even
That's
and
good. That's
brother,
good.
I don't even want it to be a misconception like I'm not understanding what you went through. I don't want you to feel in no way, shape, form disrespected.
No, I don't.
And I feel like everyone on this table is the
You're doing
utmost
a great
love
job,
for.
King.
Understood.
Yeah.
But man, one thing that I started to learn and I never understood why in science this stuck with me so much. It's the energy cannot die, can only be transferred. Now that's my perspective, right? I'm not saying that's how you should apply it to your life, but I can say, man, my grandfather died of cancer when I was like 8 or 9 years old. It scarred me to a point to where I used to be scared to go to sleep. I didn't even understand what cancer was. I thought I was gonna go to sleep and just die in my sleep. I saw my grandfather dead at 8, 9. That was my first dead body. Just recently, I fast forward and jumped from that. Just recently, my other grandfather passed. But the connection, the reason why I say energy can't be died, it only be transferred. I'm gonna break down the story. When my grandfather passed, I'm usually able to meditate and connect with anyone on the other side, and I'm able to receive from other realms. Yes, sir. The living. I'm able to receive. Once I went to sleep that night, I had a dream. My dream was my grandfather knew I love guns. My dream was he was at his home, and in the room I used to stay in as a little boy, he took me into the home, lifted from under the bed, pulled out a briefcase, and the dream ended. I was overseas. I was catching a flight when he died. Same thing you said. My mother was crying loudly on the aircraft. We was on the way to Europe. My mother was screaming. Flight attendants had to wear me because I had earphones on. I had to cater to my mother in the middle of a flight because her father just died, right? I went to sleep that night. I had a dream. Once I got back to Memphis, the first place I went to was my grandfather's house to greet my grieving grandmother, but to also go straight to that room in that dream. In that dream, when I lifted up the bed and I pulled out the same briefcase I saw in the dream that he sent me, I opened it up, and that's where I found all his hunting rifles. So when I say energy does not die, it can only be transferred. How did I get that dream? How did I know it was guns under that bed if I knew?
I ain't gonna lie, squad. This is some deep stuff, bro. I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never went through nothing even symbolically like this, bro.
There's guns under the bed.
So now, Ray J, when you hear these stories about how people can cope through what they go through, what has been the most beautiful lesson that has been given to you on how to survive being famous, being a celebrity, being in the public, having to deal with the scrutiny and all those things? What has been the thing that has kept you together so that you were able to just stand strong as a young black man?
First off, I want to say to NLE, like, I fuck with you, and I appreciate you really genuinely trying to, like, make sure you say what you feel and from your experiences, and also put out this word where it can help people, because a lot of people listening. And I respect that. I do, man. But, like, and when I was 22, bro, nobody could tell me nothing. 22, 23, 24, 34, 36, right? It's all different. 42, 40, right? It's different. But in his situation, he's right there. And that's where it's at. So it don't matter what we say about the...
See, I'm a little bit different, squad. I believe personally that you can learn from anyone. You can learn from a homeless guy on the street, in my opinion, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I've also said the space what he's gonna say, squad, is I've said in one of my videos a long time ago, I said, bro, your mindset is always going to be changing. My mindset right now at 22 is going to be completely different when I'm 25, and then from 25 to 30. And that can go with a whole bunch of things, squad. I even said before, I believe that anybody that's watching this, I salute you, right? And I believe that most of the stuff people even stress about on a daily basis ain't going to matter in 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? In 3 years from now, in 2 years from now. There's probably somebody right now, squad, that's in a toxic relationship. I'm talking about going back and forth with their significant other, and they don't even realize that in 3 years from now, they're going to be married with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, squad, even on the social media aspect, on social media, bro, you can't care about what nobody think. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta do you and do what you're supposed to. And my bad, squad, you know what I'm saying? I may not be the best articulating everything like I keep saying, but I'm trying, you know what I'm saying?
We put in after, and what happens to the years after that is a little bit different, and it gets a little trickier, right? But when I was 22, when I'm 22, that's all you can tell me. And the OGs, they used to tell me shit, and I'd be like, push OG, much respect. All right, cool. That nigga don't know what he's talking about in my mind and walk away, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. But I always show.
We all did.
You know, you know what I'm saying? You be like, show. He like, and I'm telling you, man. You like, all right, man. All right, OG, all right. And you like, you don't know what you're talking about because I know what I'm talking about, right? But 22 and 32 is different, and 42 is different.
Yeah, what I just say, squad?
And the way you going is, like, if you keep your head on straight like that and know that at any time, everything could change, like in 1 second.
It's done it multiple times, yes sir.
Meaning what?
It's changed multiple times.
But what I'm saying is, no, it is, but it hasn't changed. Like, you don't understand it yet. You don't understand.
I don't understand what yet.
What 32 looks like.
Yeah, I do not. You're right.
What 42 looks like. But there's no but to it.
No, it is a but.
No, it's not.
The way that you looked at the OGs and you said you don't know what you're talking about is the same way I look at the OGs and I receive what I can and I take it with a grain of salt and apply what I can't. I apply what I can and I leave what I can't. You feel me?
But are you eager to listen tonight?
Have I not?
I don't think so, not yet.
It's all good. If you don't think I listen, then I you think. I know I'm listening though. I listen to this brother's story and I relate. Listen to this brother's story, I relate. He said he overdosed. And nobody talk about time when I drove into a tree, to a light pole trying to, Wow. I got my own instances too. I'm just, I'm a little bit too, probably it looks as if I'm trying to keep it hidden. But if I put it on the front line and I just go step by step, day by day, y'all will say, damn, you went through all of that? By 22, that's why I'm so far ahead, because I've already lived enough and I've learned. See,
so you feel like you feel like you're far ahead. How far do you feel like you're ahead?
I feel I'm far enough ahead to have a conversation with y'all, because I bet if y'all bring another 22-year-old, he won't be able to talk like this. You feel me?
Talk like what?
Talk and know what you
sound. But you sound intelligent and you sound like you mean well, but you just have no clue of what this thing is.
What the thing is.
The thing is time.
No. I want to hear him.
Time.
Time, right?
Time. Not timing, but time. Time.
Within time, what do you feel is going to be revealed within time that I'm not already understanding?
All right, so
I'm listening.
And I think what Ray J is really saying. Arthur C. Brooks talk about crystallized knowledge and fluid knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And crystal knowledge is what we've acquired with age and with time.
Yes, sir.
And
experience,
obviously, with honor and respect, yours is fluid. And
my bad, squad. Just like I said earlier, squad, I do agree with that. Like I said, it's like your mindset is always changing, your environment's always changing. The stuff that I'm stressed about now, like I said earlier, squad, the stuff that you're stressed about now, in 5 years from now ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? There may be somebody right now, squad, 17 years old in high school, nervous about football, nervous about what they're gonna do. In 5 years from now, that you may be doing something completely different. You may be, for example, in the oil field making $100,000 a year. So that same thing that you were stressed about when you were 17 don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? And I use the relationship thing. So I do agree, like, your mindset is always changing. The way that I think right now at 22, when I turn 25, is going to be completely different. The stuff that I'm stressing about right now is probably going to be, most definitely going to be completely different at 25, bro. But yeah.
and there's so much more to be revealed. And because you're at that position, you're going to learn it. So I don't think he's not saying that you're not. What he's saying is that as you stay on the path, you'll continue to receive more and more.
We have to debate. We have to have a debate because if we don't debate it, then there's no point.
How old is Ray J?
I think it's not
I'm listening to
it come
everybody.
from age. It just came from learning where I messed up at. That's what I'm saying. Is that not where maturity come from? Does it come with age or does it come with learning and breaking the cycles that you're supposed to do?
That's a good question.
Is that not?
No, I'm
Ray J is 44.
I'm gonna answer you. I think it's a combination of things, right? So you grew up in Memphis, right? A lot of violence from what you were saying, right? So you've seen a lot of things that a lot of people haven't seen, right? So that's a lot of experience, right? But I'm 42, Kirk's 55. There's certain things that I'm gonna give you a silly example. Well, I'm gonna give you a silly example. Have you heard of Labubus?
Labubus?
Yeah, the little.
That's where the 22 come in at. No.
Okay, so Labubu, no, it's happening now. Labubus are little, like stuffed animals.
I only heard about that, bro, on Castanet stream, but besides that, I didn't even know it existed, bro.
And my niece is like 9. It is the biggest thing in her world. Yes, she's never seen nothing else. She's like, oh, I gotta have a Labubu. We gotta stand in line for 2 hours for a Labubu. And me and my wife and sister, and that's a difference. So Labubus for her is the biggest thing in the world, and it's really just a stuffed animal.
Yes, sir.
So to her, this is the first time she's seen it. It's on TV. It's on the news. At 42, I realized Labubu ain't nothing but Pokemon cards,
yes, sir.
Beanie Babies, Tickle Me Elmo, Pet Rocks, Game Boys, whatever.
What's the point?
I'm gonna get to the point. The point is, when you were hearing Labubus, you think, oh my God. Okay. This is crazy. I've never seen anything else like that because it's your first experience. This is her. When you're my age, you're like, this is 6th, 7th time I've seen this, but everybody who's experienced it for the first time, I remember what it was like when I was like, I gotta have a Tamagotchi. No, the world is Tamagotchi. I gotta have this. Mommy, please. And now I've seen that happen once every 2 or 3 years. So that at 9 or at 22, you can only know that revolution's only happened one time. Okay. 2 or 3.
And see, look, squad, I want to say I agree with him 100%. And look, squad, something about me, I have younger siblings, right? And let me say this, squad. Whenever I was, me and my younger siblings are 5 years apart, squad. Whenever I was 17 years old, bro, I used to think everything was just so serious, right? I was, like I said earlier, stressed about certain things. And I didn't understand at the time, right? But this made me have an eye-opening discovery, right? I look back at my younger siblings' age right now and the things that they're doing and the things that they're stressing about, and I realized, squad, that none of that mattered. Everything that my younger siblings are stressing about and going through, me right now at the age of 22, none of that mattered. Whether it's friends, whether it's sports, whether it's which colleges and all that stuff, I realize now at 22 that none of that mattered. So what I thought one day, squad, was this, right? If nothing mattered whenever I was 17 years old, I'm saying nothing mattered when I was 17 years old, what is saying that what I do right now is gonna matter? You know what I'm saying? I may not be, once again, saying it correctly, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? If I realized that when I was 17 years old, I was so young, I was so dumb, I didn't know what I was talking about, but I did. I was stressing about things that I thought really mattered, but they didn't. What is there to say that right now, you know what I'm saying, everything that I stress about, and 5 years from now, that my younger siblings are going to go through, and I'm going to realize, like, dang, they going through the same thing I did. You know what I'm saying? And that can be anything. That can be me, even right now, squad, thinking, dang, everybody my age right now is out here drinking, partying, bro, going out, let me say, messing with all these different women and doing all this other stuff, right? And I'm like, dang, bro, look what they doing. And I'm in here, you know what I'm saying, doing what I like to do, right? The gym, work, making content, right? Just doing what I love, right? But I got lost, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna let it play.
But when you're 42 or 55, you have literally, like Ray J said, you have actual time. There's experience where you have experiences, and then there's experience where you've experienced things over time.
That's your daughter does that?
My niece.
Your niece.
Yeah.
My daughter does that with me. So
Yeah.
It's the same thing. At 22, I used to love SpongeBob as a kid.
Right.
It came back into fruition.
Let me jump in real quick, guys.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, let me jump in real quick. Go. No, finish. No, finish. Go ahead, King. Finish. Yes, sir.
Ray J.
Yeah, thank you. Whew. I've been trying to say something, goddamn. No,
Go ahead,
I'm just
King.
saying, NLE is my, and he's smart as fuck, and he's his own, you carved out your own way, so you understand.
I will see that.
You understand by being your own boss. So nobody can really tell you nothing.
No, that's not
No,
true.
no.
Ray, it's
Let me
not
finish.
true.
Let me just finish. Let me finish.
That's not true. That
No,
nobody
you're
can tell
right.
me
No, I
that.
know. No, you listen. No, you listen
Because I'm
too.
listening.
No, you listen too.
No, that's not.
Even me right now, 22 squad, same age as NLE, I don't think he's taking in this, but that's just my opinion.
You listen too, but what I'm saying is, you're like, think about it. And I know your mom. I know you, like, you manifested where you are right
Yes,
now.
sir.
So you understand
The
that.
grace of God.
Cool. That's what you feel.
That's what I know.
Got it. Now, do you feel like you're at that experience level to where you can tell these, give these some advice?
Do I?
Really?
I would say yes, because like I said earlier, I believe you can learn advice from everybody, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can learn advice from anyone. You can get advice from a homeless man on the street. You can always learn from anyone. That's my opinion to his question.
You feel like you can give Jonathan Major some advice?
Do I
right?
feel I'm at that level?
Yeah, not successful.
No, that's a good question.
I'm talking about experience.
Knowledge-wise, right?
Yeah, do you feel like that?
I can only give where man is willing to receive.
That doesn't make any sense. But
Yes, it
that
does.
doesn't answer the
Break
question.
it down.
Do you feel like your experience? Do you feel like your experience in the world that you
Yes.
can give Jonathan some
If
advice?
he's willing to receive.
That's way out. I need to smoke a cigarette.
Southern, let me jump in and say this.
All right, so look, squad, I'm gonna pause it right here, and I'm gonna make a part 3 because my camera tripping again, squad. But yeah, bro, we finna get deep back into this once again.